I don't know. These remarks I made in the first half, but I've just seen this Detroit team so much, and I better know what I'm looking at when I say this. But I've seen a lot of teams play hard, and I think I know how to define that. This Detroit team, there's no showboating, there's no screwing around. You got coaches dead serious. Randall L. over there, Mark Brunell, Aaron Glenn, Dan Campbell, all NFL veterans. They're not putting up with any bullshit. I see sheer hustle from guys like Kaminsky, Benito Jones, Bugs. These people are just chasing out of the scrum on screens. What else did I write down? The wide receiver blocking, the cornerback hitting. They just get after you. I mean, really are going to get a 60-minute game. They don't care about the score or nothing. Those coaches are on these people. I can just imagine what it's like behind closed doors. I'm going to just read one thing after the game Saturday night that Montgomery said about Campbell, the running back, David Montgomery. Like I said at the beginning of the year, we got a ballsy coach, and I wouldn't want to have any other coach. Dan is the ideal, perfect head coach in the NFL. He coaches with passion, but he's not coaching to yell at you. He wants you to learn and be the best version of yourself. And however that looks, he does that. All right,
Yeah.
so let's look at
On Dan Campbell, I would just say there's a fine line on aggressiveness, and I loved all of it throughout the game. The fake punt, the 4th and 4, later that drive. You're really everything that he says after these games, and I love how you pull out the quote sheet and kind of relay it to the listeners here. He backs it up in action. It's not like he's talking tough and then coaching a different way. He's not saying we're going to be this aggressive team and we play to win and I believe in my guys and then go into the fetal position when it's nut cutting time, right? He backs it up. He's always going to be aggressive and believe in his players, and I think that can empower a player on the individual level. But after they get hosed, right after the Taylor Decker euphoria turns into dismay, and who knows what's going through Dan Campbell's mind in that split second. Why not just kick the extra point, get to overtime, right? Like, why not take a deep breath, say, okay, it's a little tougher now. Let's just extend the game. Seriously, let's cut our losses, keep playing football. That seemed like the line to me because I loved everything Brandon Staley was doing for a while with the Los Angeles Chargers, and then he just got crazy and cost the team a playoff berth. The next year, he blows that 27-3 lead to Jacksonville, whatever it was in the wild card, and then the next season he's fired. So you've got to have restraint somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly that line is. It's different game to game. But I think Dan Campbell has a feel for games better than any coach in the league. Man, that just seems like a spot where could have tapped the brakes a little bit. But I loved everything else through the game. Going for two in that
yeah.
spot, there's no
How about
hesitation.
the fake punt? You like that? Yeah, it worked. I mean,
Even if
that
it
would have
didn't
been
work, it didn't work against Green Bay.
right. So that would have been a 38-yard attempt for Badgley. What are the odds on a 38-yarder under pressure to kick the extra point?
I'd
90?
say, yeah,
92?
yeah.
90? Yeah. What are the odds on a 7-point try, 7-yard try?
Not that high.
What do you think? 40?
It's so condensed down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You almost need an element of trickeration, right? Not I was going to say not
Yeah.
necessarily flukiness, but it's like you've got a play in your back pocket that you're going to use in that moment. That's where it's got to sting extra for the Lions. It's like they've had that play, it works, and for what? You lose the game. So